Hola. So I did say earlier, well, yesterday, I guess that's earlier, that I would do a video of kind of like a recap of New York Comic Con and what they could do to make it better. But I think I've complained a lot in my other videos, good and bad. I did some good notes about New York Comic Con and some bad notes about New York Comic Con. So I decided to do a question and answer. Some people inboxed me on my Facebook page when I asked if there were any questions that they'd like to ask me about New York Comic Con. So the first question is, um, why didn't you cosplay this year? That's from David Q. There were a bunch of reasons why I didn't cosplay this year, and well, one of the few is money. Money was like a big thing for me this year. I just moved into my new apartment, and um, I guess I just needed to become acclimated to paying much more than what I've been paying for quite a few years. And yeah, a part of cosplay is money. Money to get your materials to um, put your costume together. Even if I had the money, I didn't have the time. I was always working, working like crazy, and as I have so many ideas that I would like to do for cosplay, but I don't have the time to do it. It would just take too much time, and right now I just don't have it to give. Third reason why I didn't do cosplay this year is, well, it was a small reason, but I I love to have goals, and I hold myself up to a certain standard, and the cosplays that I want to do, I would like to be fit when I do the costumes. Not that they're like half naked or anything, but I want to look my best. I'm not for fat shaming. People can cosplay at any size they want to. They could be 600 pounds cosplaying in a bikini, and that's fine with me because if you have the confidence to do that, then you have the confidence to do that. That shouldn't stop you from cosplaying and being what you want. But when it comes to me, I'm very hard on myself, and I just want to be the best I can be, and know that my confidence is is not unlimited. My confidence comes from knowing that I put the best that I can do for me, not for anybody else, but for me. And I feel like I'm going to be putting forth my best if I weren't fit in, I don't know, let's just throw it up there, maybe a Black Widow outfit. I would probably never cosplay her because she's not somebody I envision myself cosplaying. But I want to be I want to be fit. I want to be looking great. And some people give me a lot of shit, and they're like, "Well, you already look great as you are. You shouldn't have to worry." But some people don't care, and that's fine. And I really care, and I'm entitled to care about me and the way my body looks in an outfit. I don't want to see bulges. That's just me. That's how I am. I'm nitpicky when it comes to me. What was your favorite booth at NYCC, from Emily? My favorite booth at NYCC was hands down the Capcom booth. And it wasn't that they had the most games or the flashiest of booths, even though they had a pretty awesome Monster Hunter wall. They kept it simple. They set up quite a few booths with um, with Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. They had a bunch set up. I think maybe they had maybe like 10 or 12 3DSs set up. And then they had people on hand that actually knew what you had to do in order to progress and defeat your monster in Monster Hunter 4. They were there on hand. If they saw you having a difficult time, they give you pointers. They tell you not to give up. Um, they they knew about the different weapons. They they just overall gave a more enjoyable experience, and they gave you a really cool. Um, if you, I think if you won, they give you a raffle ticket for a raffle that happened at later on at 5:30 in the evening that I never even made. I totally forgot about it because I was just so worn out by the time like 4 o'clock came around. I just, I kind of like zoomed out of there. Um, it was just overall a really friendly experience. Oh, and they gave people who tried out Monster Hunter for Ultimate a limited edition feline pin, which was really cool because I think that pen itself cost $10, and it was just cool to have something that you could say, hey, this is really cute, other than a lanyard or a card or a postcard sized flyer. And that, which, I mean, if you went to Comic Con this year, you got a whole lot of paper. Like, there were like flyers and stuff, and maybe like a couple of booths gave away, I think, books. I'm not sure. I don't know if they had catches to them, but yeah, they had. Capcom also had the new Phoenix Wright game, and then they had Resident Evil Revelations 2, which is really cool. Like I said, everything was organized. It wasn't crazy. The staff was extremely friendly. Sorry, that's my dog. The staff was extremely friendly and knowledgeable about their product. So Capcom was definitely my favorite booth compared to walking around. And there were like a lot of booths. Most of the booths had employees. Even on the first day, Thursday, you just got there. It looked like they did not want to be there at all, or they didn't know anything about what they were selling. They always had to get someone else. So that was, it was kind of, I don't know. Whatever the situation was, like I said, Capcom was my favorite booth. From Jason Martinez. In your other video, you said Comic Con is too commercial. What made you say that? Okay. Um, let's just say compared to other years, um, New York Comic Con has always been known for quality and looking out for their fans. And this year, they had less speakers and less people, I guess, just coming in promoting their shows in general. And they had tons more companies that had like very little to no reason being at New York Comic Con. Um, one of them that stuck out the most was there was like, I guess like a stripper pole company or like a pole dancer company. I don't want to say stripper pole because maybe it was just for pole dancing. I don't know, but it was it was a little unnerving, mostly because there were people actually swinging around the pole. And I know that there are people that are just like, oh, sexuality, this and blah, blah, blah. For me, there are kids there, especially on Sunday. And I can be a little traditional when it comes to things like that. And I just feel like, I love pole dancing. I want to learn how to do pole dancing. Do I want to pole dance in front of kids? No. And I don't think that pole dancing belongs at New York Comic Con because it has absolutely nothing to do with anime. It has absolutely nothing to do with comics. It has nothing to do with anything that New York Comic Con is about. Why is that even there? They had a Geico bus there and it was cute, but like when you come to New York Comic Con, do you think that perhaps you would like to get car insurance on your way there, car insurance, motorcycle insurance, apartment insurance, whatever else the hell they offer, you're not thinking about that. I don't know how many sales they got, but I don't know. I just felt like they filled every space they could, no matter who threw money at them. Um, you know, I used to feel some type of way about even the massage people being there, but I'm like, no. After dealing with Zoe, shh. After dealing with some sore feet and shoulders, Zoe. Jesus Christ. After dealing with some sore feet and shoulders, it gets a little crazy. And you might want a massage. Have I ever got a massage from them? No, I have not. I always decide to save my money to buy something else and just tough it through the hurting shoulders and the blistering feet that I've been walking on for hours during the weekend. So yeah, it's just they had NYX, I think NYX Cosmetics, which is obviously makeup there. Um, I didn't really feel any kind of way about that because there's a lot of cosplayers that use makeup, especially the women. So I could kind of see that fitting in there. But then they had like the fake lashes, and it was just, I don't know, it was like really weird, and I expected a lot more to offer about the geek culture than to have pole dancing and Geico. And there were a couple other booths where I was like, why are you here? Like, you don't even belong here. But I guess like if they give Repop the money, they take it and say, sure, why not? You never know. From Jason Martinez. In your other video, you said Comic Con is too commercial. What made you say that? Okay. Um, let's just say compared to other years, um, New York Comic Con has always been known for quality and looking out for their fans. And this year, they had less speakers and less people, I guess, just coming in promoting their shows in general. And they had tons more companies that had like very little to no reason being at New York Comic Con. Um, one of them that stuck out the most was there was like, I guess like a stripper pole company or like a pole dancer company. I don't want to say stripper pole because maybe it was just for pole dancing. I don't know, but it was it was a little unnerving, mostly because there were people actually swinging around the pole. And I know that there are people that are just like, oh, sexuality, this and blah, blah, blah. For me, there are kids there, especially on Sunday. And I can be a little traditional when it comes to things like that. And I just feel like, I love pole dancing. I want to learn how to do pole dancing. Do I want to pole dance in front of kids? No. And I don't think that pole dancing belongs at New York Comic Con because it has absolutely nothing to do with anime. It has absolutely nothing to do with comics. It has nothing to do with anything that New York Comic Con is about. Why is that even there? They had a Geico bus there and it was cute, but like when you come to New York Comic Con, do you think that perhaps you would like to get car insurance on your way there? Car insurance, motorcycle insurance, apartment insurance, whatever else the hell they offer. You're not thinking about that. I don't know how many sales they got, but I don't know. I just felt like they filled every space they could, no matter who threw money at them. Um, you know, I used to feel some type of way about even the massage people being there. But I'm like, no. After dealing with Zoe, shh. After dealing with some sore feet and shoulders, after dealing with some sore feet and shoulders, it gets a little crazy. And you might want a massage. Have I ever got a massage from them? No, I have not. I always decide to save my money to buy something else and just tough it through the hurting shoulders and the blistering feet that I've been walking on for hours during the weekend. So yeah, it's just they had NYX, I think NYX Cosmetics, which is obviously makeup there. Um, I didn't really feel any kind of way about that because there's a lot of cosplayers that use makeup, especially the women. So I could kind of see that fitting in there. But then they had like the fake lashes, and it was just, I don't know, it was like really weird, and I expected a lot more to offer about the geek culture than to have pole dancing and Geico. And there were a couple other booths where I was like, why are you here? Like you don't even belong here. But I guess like if they give Repop the money, they take it and say, sure, why not? You never know. From Jonathan H. Did you go to any panels? If so, which ones? I did not. I was going to go to the Resident Revelations panel, and that was like at the end of the day on Friday, if I remember correctly. And I couldn't wait until like 7 o'clock in the evening. My feet were already killing me, and yeah, I wasn't gonna wait like another 3 or 4 hours just for one panel. And I had seen pretty much everything on the floor on Thursday, so I was kind of bored. Yeah. Um, and then I was supposed to see the Monster Hunter panel on Saturday, and I ended up forgetting my pass at home. Then I had to go back, and the the F train. No, I went to get on the E train, but then I found out that it was the F train, and I noticed it because it was stopping at every single stop instead of going express. That made me just critically late, and there was no way that I was gonna make it in time for the panel. So no, I didn't really get to go to any of the panels. But from what I hear, um, I probably wouldn't have even been able to make it to a lot of the other popular panels anyway because people were kind of camping out for the wrist bracelets that they were giving out. They had a new thing that was going on this year. There were some people that love to camp all day for the for a chance to go to a panel. But then things got a little crazy, and people started staying inside the theaters all day long, and it never gave anybody else the chance to see the show. So they started a bracelet thing, like a different color bracelets for different shows and stuff. And I have no idea if that worked really well or not. But yeah, I didn't make it to any of the panels, and I wasn't trying to wait for a bracelet. So it was just kind of like, hey, if I do make it, I do. If I don't, I don't. I honestly didn't see any panels that I wanted to attend at all. And when I tell you that it was, I've seen and I've pretty much done almost every panel over the course of 4 or 5 years of attending New York Comic Con. I have. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It was where was snobby comic book guy David L. Snobby comic book guy was actually supposed to um, was supposed to show up to New York Comic Con with me, and he did. Only he was working his friend's booth, so he wasn't able to join me for a lot of the other events. Had I have had company, I probably would have stuck around a lot more because when you're by yourself, you tend to just like zoom through everything and you don't really have anybody to talk to about the different things that you see. So I kind of just like made mental notes and just like kept it pushing. Everything just went a lot faster than what I thought it was. But yeah, he was there. He was at Fanboy Collectibles. I think that's the name of his booth. But yeah, he was doing the he was being the greatest best friend in the whole wide world to his best friend Eric, and helping his family out with the booth at New York Comic Con. Anonymous. Can we see the picture of the cosplayer in blackface? Sure. Why not? So here we have somebody who is obviously playing Shonuff from the movie The Last Dragon. Classic, 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 classic movie. Here's the problem with blackface. I know some people are like, oh, maybe he wanted to do it for accuracy, blah, blah, blah. Cosplaying has accuracy has nothing to do with your race. It has everything to do with your costume. And besides that, blackface, I would encourage you that if you really want to know why it's a bad move to do blackface, you should, you should really, really employ Google, use your finger energy, type in the history of blackface, and I guarantee you within the first few minutes you'll understand why blackface is a bad thing to do. Just in short, it's a way to humiliate black people, and it always has been. It's not funny, it's not for accuracy. It is a way to demean black people. I mean, this guy, he didn't even like really give a fuck. He just streaked stuff all over his face. And I think maybe either by the end of Comic Con, somebody either told him, don't wear blackface, or he just got tired of just haphazardly smearing brown makeup all over his body, because the last day that I saw him, he wasn't wearing any blackface. So I mean, he made a lot of people of color, and a lot of white people too, feel really uncomfortable with it. And it's just, when you cosplay, you gotta use your brain. If you have to ask, would this be offensive? You probably should not do it. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't um, tape my eyes so that I can cosplay someone Asian. That's and then be arrogant enough to say, well, I'm just doing it for accuracy. People would be like, Grim, are you out of your fucking mind? Yeah, this guy was just really clueless, and I hope that he does not do that ever again. Some people say, oh, black people are being too sensitive. You have no right to tell somebody who to be sensitive, who or what to be sensitive about. And if you feel like it doesn't bother you, blackface doesn't bother you, then that's just you. But there are a lot of us that it does bother, and it is an insult to people of color, especially black people, and it shouldn't be done, whether you don't care about it or not. That's it. Last question. Based on your visit this year, would you recommend people to go to NYCC? From Suzanne. Yes. The only reason why I feel the way that I do about New York Comic Con is because I have been going there for about 4 or 5 years now. I feel like it's lost the spirit. of geekness. And like I mentioned before, it's just really commercial, and it just seems like a cash grab. It just seems like everything is just thrown together. It's very lackluster. I felt like I was going to NYCC just out of obligation, just out of tradition, and I expected for it to get better and better every year. But I think, and I did not think I would hear this come from my mouth as a zombie enthusiast. I think I've had enough of The Walking Dead being the main attraction of New York Comic Con every year. And I know that NYCC happens during October and it's Halloween and zombies and scary booga booga booga, but I I'm just I'm bored now. I'm bored, and it's nothing else to there's nothing else to see. There's nothing to see here anymore. Even the indie people that were there, I saw some really cool like indie comics and independent artists. I don't think the indie artists artist alley, I don't think it was as packed as it was in previous years. So I don't know if people are just kind of like weaning off because maybe they're not getting enough play or getting enough attention as they thought they probably would at New York Comic Con. I'm assuming that it would be really expensive to get a booth there, but yeah, it's there's nothing new for me to see there. No panels. Um, there are games, obviously new games there, but as a games journalist, I can always find samples, demos to play. But yeah, it's I would definitely encourage people to go at any point in time because when you haven't been there like almost every year, it's really fun and everything seems new. Now I'm just seeing just dollar signs all over the place. It seems like it's all about the money. And I don't know if I really want to do that anymore. So yeah, that's it. I'm surprised I got a lot of questions in a short time. I thought I'd do the video before I take a nap. I'm I'm tired. I'm still tired from Comic Con, and I really didn't get that much rest because I woke up this morning to do some training for my second job. I'll probably talk about that later. Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope that I answered your questions. If indeed you are watching this video and you're one of the people that sent me the question and I did not answer the question, or you want to add an additional question, comment on the video and I'll be sure to answer you back the best way I can in the comments. Comments. I'm thinking about comments. Yeah. Peace.